44.1. 44.1. Not a big beat. Guidance 45. Oh! No!
Order filled.
Okay, I just shorted some. Yeah, I don't think that's good. Do you guys think that's good? They didn't beat at all. $45. Q2 reflects a loss of $8 billion in revenue from the H20. Holy shit. How do you parse that? They're saying that's without 8 billion. They would have done 53. All right, I'm getting out of the short. That's actually kind of bullish. Now, is that spin? Is that spin? I don't know.
Order partially filled.
I'm out of short. I took a quick loss.
Order filled.
Took a little loss. Not a little loss either. That's so if they take out the 8, it would have been 53. Do you want to read that as like massively good? I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't think you can buy it on that. Do you think you can buy it? I don't think you can buy that. That's not that bullish. Because we don't really know. A lot of that H20 demand is going to be moved around. So you can't give me that excuse. It's going to Singapore. That's like a... See, this is a boondoggle. Okay, this is Fugazi. I might short it again. You can't say, oh, my Q2 is going to be really bad because it was this one thing. We can't sell to China, so if we could sell to China, it would be this big. Well, hold on. How do you know how big it would be? Well, they could say last quarter we had this much, so the next quarter we're going to have this much. I don't know. That's a little fugazi. That's a little malarkey. What do you think? If I knew I was going to miss... Well, look, we know for a fact they're not playing games because we know that Trump is telling you can't sell anymore, right? You can't sell to China. But that demand should just come back anyway. I don't know. Yeah, it's a little fugazi. We're going to have to listen to the call and see what he says because... Well, this quarter wasn't any good either. This wasn't a great quarter. And guidance is kind of meh. I don't know. I don't like that one bit. $44 is not much of a beat. And that guidance is going to be a little spooky. I mean, they technically missed data center revenue. Gaming revenue beat. Gaming revenue beat. And they could have stuffed the channel for the gaming revenue. I don't know. I'm not... I'm finna short, man. They're saying 8 billion in lost sales to China. So I would have had I would have had 53 billion, which obviously would have been a massive beat. I believe him. I believe Jensen. That's not a crazy number. If you look at it, that's 70% year over year. That's not a crazy number. So he's basically saying we're zeroing out China. But the thing is, like, he already knows how, what, a month of Q1 is going. And he's saying this is what we're seeing. I'm so torn. It's a horrible, horrible guidance compared, and they missing on Q1 data centers really bad. The problem is this 8 billion missing, this little 8 billion 8 billion in demand missing from China. That's the problem. How do we reconcile that? And China's never been 8 billion before. They've never had 8 billion a quarter in China. So he's kind of, I don't know, I think that's Pinocchio. Call it Pinocchio. No, you don't have to play it, Darren, at all. I just want to give you guys good advice. Yeah, but they've never. Last quarter they did 5.5 in China, so all of a sudden we're missing 8. And they could look. They know what their demand is. They probably can get it, from customer purchase orders and stuff like that. But listen, I've been trained a long time in technology investing. Any sign of weakness, you shoot first. Ask questions later. Okay, yeah, I think it's time. I hate to do this to my friends, my family. I'm sorry, guys.
Order filled.
Sorry. Father-in-law. Love you, man. Sorry. It's not personal. It's just business.
Order partially filled. Order filled. Man, I wanted to buy it so bad. I think it's going to be down like 5% tomorrow. They're giving an excuse for the miss. We missed numbers because of China. Stop it. Stop the bullshit. You got that Jensen smile. It's China's fault. There's only two sides to it. You can either go long or short. So yes, half of most places will. Most traders, it's about 50-50. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's good. Now, the question is, the market now say, well, I don't know if the China ban gets lifted, do they all of a sudden get a massive, Q3, Q2? The problem is that you're going to end up with China, Trump saying no more business to China, crack down on it. And that's not bullish. This is a big demand. I'm sorry. You guys already know what's up. And HP shit in the bed doesn't help. Not that it's that related, but HP down 19%. Cadence and Synopsys down for the same reason. Who wants to be long semis right now? Raise your hand. You don't understand. tech investing. When you see weakness, you need to be ruthless. It's just China. It'll be okay. It's no big deal. It's China's fault. No, fuck that. I'm not saying this is the best trading idea I've ever had in my life. I'm trying to give you what I feel. And I had a small, very small position. I think basis points, not percentages. What is first? No. Not ruthless in your position size. Ruthless in your ability to detect second derivative and first derivative changes. Like you got to be like a weatherman. Any change in the wind. Well, if you look at the history of technology, very subtle things often will presage massive changes. Especially when a company is in hyper growth mode, they really shouldn't have any signs of weakness and need to make excuses. And here he is saying, well, Q2 is going to be a little light. It's this China thing. Look, he might be right, but that's a I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Because you never know when the cycle's hitting the top. Semiconductor cycle is vicious. You go from profits to losses like that. Now, it's not going to happen to NVIDIA, of course, but incrementally, we thought they could do... What did you guys tell me? They were going to do 46? Oh, what happened? What'd they do? What'd they do? Remind me. How much was it? Was it 46? No, it wasn't. Was it? It's 44. So you guys are saying 46 in the chat. And they came out with 44. That's called below expectations. You guys predicted 44, 46, 46 or more. Well, they missed that. How about guidance? Oh, guidance is bad too. So you missed and then bad guidance. What stocks can be down? There's a giga miss. So, like I said, love the company, love the people there. We're in a huge AI secular wave. And I shed a tear every time I press the sell button on NVIDIA, but let's look at the queue. The queue's out. I want to see the China numbers. China. There's a lot on export controls here. It doesn't look like they're giving geographic numbers, which is a little bizarre. I guess it's not that bizarre when you're literally banned from it. Are they not going to give out? They're not giving out geographics anymore. That's wild. China. China? China. China. Oh, here it is, here it is, here it is. It's here. So they did 5-5 in China. It just doesn't make any sense. I guess Trump is saying it's Jover. 5522. So Trump is saying no more. Singapore, tiny fucking country, is now all the revenue. Singapore's up 100% year over year. They just got this real big demand all of a sudden. A real big demand for these chips. And I bet you they stuffed the channel for gaming. So US is up 50%. Okay? US is up 54%. I would have thought the hyperscalers would have bought more than that. A lot of this demand is coming from Singapore and Taiwan. You know, Singapore and Taiwan are up 100%. But US is only up 50%. Yeah, I don't like the smell of this, to be honest. Stock trading up 3%. Yeah, I still don't. Just not. There's a lot of great Singapore AI companies, you know. There's got to be at least a few. China's not down. China was up for them. So now they're going to go to 0 in China. They can't even sell the H20. You have to take it as it goes, Chris. This wasn't the quarter I was looking for. This wasn't the quarter you guys were looking. You thought 46. They did 44. I don't think it's going up. You know, it's a big cop out to say, oh, we would have had 8 billion more next quarter if it was for if it wasn't for China. It seems kind of nuts to say that. And they'll probably get grilled on that very shortly here. We'll see. I hope their conference call will work this time. That'd be nice. The NVL 72. Who does this? Look at this. Revenue is expected to be 45 billion plus or minus 2%. This outlook reflects a loss in H20 revenue of approximately $8 billion due to the recent export control limitations. So is it a valid excuse or not? It's been a whole 3 minutes, BFD Legion. Relax.
Not, what I'm saying is it a valid excuse in the sense that 8 billion in demand is lost demand that cannot be rerouted? Clearly that, Singapore, they're doing just fine in Singapore, right? So I think they're using it as an excuse for possibly for slight weakness. Obviously, look, it's not about whether or not AI is still hot, healthy, etc. Of course it is, but it's much more about these little subtleties. Wall Street loves to overread into these subtleties, and it's 8 billion lost in H20 revenue, but they never had 8 billion to begin with in China revenue. The most they ever had was 5.5. So how are they going to lose 8? And then none of that demand is going to be offset? None of it by shipping it to Taiwan or to... I don't believe that. DeepSeek got their hands on chips somehow. Right? DeepSeek got their chips. Exactly, Mike. It's not zero, but the point is that demand, if it doesn't exist, look, the US demand isn't that great. The US number wasn't that great. They actually missed the data center guidance, not guidance, consensus. Gaming beat for them. Yeesh. Conference calls 18 minutes away. Yeah, I don't think this holds up. I'm gonna tap that right now.
Order filled.
No, yeah, I think you're not wrong on that one, Iris. Tony's right too. Meanwhile, Anthropic was down. Anthropic was offline because it has too much demand. So there you go. NVIDIA's, if you want a real-time estimate of demand, that's telling. Shorts NVIDIA and then proceeds to use NVIDIA computers furiously. Nobody wants these. Load up another DGX, please. Okay, so apparently there was a lot of fear going into this print. You guys thought it'd be 46. A lot of people thought it could have been a miss, partially because of tariff stuff. So the fact that they did come in a little bit above was a breath of relief for a lot of people. This is just a trade. My conviction on NVIDIA is about a 2 out of 10. My conviction on quantum is a 10 out of 10. Yeah, so the fact that NVIDIA came in where it came in, I think was a big relief to a lot of people. But, hold on, the stock's at an all-time high. So, the market clearly wasn't very scared. See what you're talking about there. Yeah, on April 9th, the H20 products. Big excess inventory. So basically, even though they're going through all this bullshit, the numbers are more or less okay. That's kind of the relief rally. Well, that's thanks. Stand corrected. Thank you, Spaghetti. There's no such thing as free in markets.